Hey guys, so in the last video I showed you all how to get the color pop effect using the saturation layer. But as you can see, when we do use the saturation layer, it does not only affect the greens but it also affects the color of the mount. So a better way and a much precise way to do this is using the black and white filter. But to do this, we need to make much more precise selections. So in this video, I'll be showing you all how to do that. So to do this, what we need to learn is how to do select. I have the original image open. I'll show you how to make selections. So there are many ways to make selections. We can simply use a rectangular tool for basic objects and it can select areas. Or we can also use special tools like the lasso tool where you can use a magnetic lasso tool where the image is selected by taking the cursor around the object you want to select. But in using this tool, many of the edges are not very refined, so we do not use this tool that often. But all the tools available in the application have its purposes. But in this tool, we'll be using the quick selection tool, and we can access the quick selection tool by right clicking this toolbar here and selecting the quick selection tool. Now what the quick selection tool does is it selects areas where you drag the mouse on, and it may also select areas that you might not mean to select. So to unselect areas, what you can do is press the Alt button on your keyboard, which will help you deselect areas which have been selected. So to select many areas, and I'll be showing you all how to select one of the areas, which is this mountain right here. If I just click the left mouse button and I drag over the mountain, you can see that it's making a selection around it, and it's a pretty good selection if you go around it. Now, like you saw here, when we came very close to the edges of the mountain, the colors were very similar to that of the greens in the image. And to deselect it, like I said, you hold down the Alt button so you can deselect the area. So as you can see, the cursor which had a plus in the middle of it now has a minus. So again, I'll show it to you all. If you press the Alt button, the plus becomes the minus right here. And now if I drag over the green area, you can see it's deselecting the area. So the thing is with Photoshop is that as you make your selections, the computer and the software itself starts learning what areas you want to select, and it will start making much more precise selections as you go. So I'm reducing the brush size right here so I can make much more precise selections, and the selections will be much slower and it won't go over all the areas which I don't want. And I'm dragging around the image by holding down the space bar, which allows you to hold down the image and move around without affecting the image in any. So you can drag the mouse around and select the area, but along the edges I prefer just clicking because it makes the selection much more precise. So as you can see, there was some parts of the trees that were selected here also. So I again just press the Alt button and I'll deselect them. So yeah, those parts were deselected. This tree also right here, I don't want to select. So I'm just making the selection much more cleaner by just using the add and subtract part of this tool. And I think you have a pretty good selection, but just in case you want to refine your selection, you have this tab here which says select and mask, which basically allows you to make an even better selection of what you already have. So if you click on this, it will take you to another tab, but just before that, uh, whenever you're making selections, just make sure that this checkbox which says sample or layers is open. So in case if there are multiple layers and you want to select a part of a layer which is not the one you have selected, you can still make the selection if this checkbox is ticked. So yeah, so for now let's go to select and mask, and as you can see it gives you a pinkish color overlay around the object that has been selected. So whatever is in pink is the part which has not been selected, and the rest is the selected region. So as we can see, there is still some tree here that has been selected, and we do get the same tool, which is the quick selection tool right here, which we can use here, and we can click on it to unselect it from the main selection. And to make your selection more refined, there is this tool which makes your selection more refined around the edges. So I just drag this over certain areas to just make the selection much more cleaner. And if you want to make certain selections which cannot be made with the quick selection tool or with this tool, you can just use the basic brush tool, and wherever you drag it, it will select or unselect the area. So I think we already have a pretty good selection. So what I'll be doing is, under this setting, I'll go on output settings right here. So when you'll open this tab first, this is how you will be greeted with the settings, and you'll have to go in the output setting. There are other tools here which you can use to make refined selections, but we'll probably go over them in another video. For now, let's just go to output and select layer mask, and I'll explain what layer mask does. So for now, let's select layer mask and press OK. So now that you see, what the layer mask does is that it keeps a selection what you have made, and the rest of it is just hidden. So the part in this layer mask, like you can see, if I press the Alt button down and I click on this layer mask tab, it will show the selection that has been made in white and the rest of it in black. So now if I just use the brush, a brush tool, which is right here, and I use the white color, and I drag over the area, it will reveal the areas which have been hidden. So if I just increase the opacity here to 100% and the flow also to 100%, if I drag over the area, it will just reveal all the areas which I have hidden. And this is another way in which you can make a much more precise selection. But since we have already what we have selected, I'll just press Ctrl Z and go back. And in this case, we don't need a layer mask. So I'll just be pressing Ctrl Z until I go back to the selection. So yeah, this is the original selection. Now another good thing about making selections is that you can save the selection that you have already made. So you right click and you go to save selections, and I can name it anything. So I just name it mountain 1, and this selection will be saved. And so if I deselect it by pressing the right mouse and I click on deselect, now if I want this selection again, what I'll go is that I'll go to channels, and right here you can see that there are different layers here, and there is mountain 1, which was the selection name that we had given. So I just click on it while pressing down the control button. It will make the selection. So I just need to turn on all these layers again. I have to turn on this mountain layer, and you can see that the selection has been made. So if I just press Control and I click on it, the selection will be taken. If I want to deselect it, I can go to the select tab right here on top, and I can deselect it. Okay, so like this I can make multiple selections of any areas I want. Now since this is a little complicated image to make so many selections, it will take some time and a little bit of precision. So just so that I don't waste your time, I have already made the selection in another file. So I have another file open here which is called ColorPop BW, which is for black and white. And here, if you go into channels, you will see that I've already made selections for multiple mountains, and I've just done it so I can make changes to any part of it without causing any issue in another area. So once you have made the selections, okay, what you need to do is that you need to go to the adjustment tab here, and from here you will select the black and white adjustment layer. So once you select it, okay, it will apply a black and white filter to the whole image. But since we don't want a black and white filter on the mountains, what we'll do is that we'll go to the channel and we'll take this and we'll select the mountain that we don't want to be black and white. So again I press on control so that my cursor changes, and I press on the mountain. Now you can see that the mountain has been selected, and you can see that the black and white layer also has a layer mask right here which is completely white, which means that everything in this image has been selected, and so everything in this image is going to be black and white. So since we don't want the mountains to be selected, what I'll do is that I'll select the brush tool and I'll select the black color which is right here. So we have two colors, which is the foreground and the background. I can switch it so that now my main foreground color is the black color. And now if I just paint over this mountain, you will see that it will retain back all of its colors that we are given. And you will see that even this layer mask, which was first completely white, now it has a black spot, which is basically this mountain that I've selected here, which means that the black and white filter will not be applied to this mountain anymore. And the same process I've done in my final file to each and every mountain. So if I just go to channels and I select the different mountains, you will see that I've selected this area with mountain 1, mountain 2 is the other area, and mountain 3, mountain 4, and so on. So yeah, that's how you can make a much more precise and better looking selection of what you want, and this gives a much better output as compared to saturation, because the mountains retain its colors, and at the same time the grass and the sky become completely black and white. So yeah, in the next video we'll probably go over another topic. Till then you all can try this method, and if you all have any other issues or doubts, you all can ask in the comments below.